Hello, and it's the Warpforge with another Batman Miniatures game, Arkham Files, for the Joker's gang. And today we focus on another clown, another armoured clown, the Master of Ceremonies. And as you can see, he has a big bad axe right here. So yeah, again, this is going to be pretty exciting stuff, people. Pretty exciting stuff, folks. Pretty exciting. So, we'll go through the names and stuff, and then through the stat line, get all that out the way with. So his name's unknown. His alias is the Master of Ceremonies. His rank is henchman, no asterisk, so you can only take one in a gang. And his affiliation is to the Joker's gang only. So yeah, that's a 2+2 stuff. His stat line is strength 4+, so alright. Willpower 5, very nice. Movement 2, okay. 5, attack 4, very nice, especially with the axe. His defense is 3, quite nice. Endurance 6, so he's a high, within the context of henchman, he's a quite high level. And his special is 3, so again, standard. So we'll go through his personal traits. So he has Catcher Gear. Catcher Gear basically ignores the apologies for that. It ignores the heavy rule. So if your opponent's attacking with a weapon with the heavy, he doesn't get, your opponent doesn't get the +1 bonus to the strength. So if you had strength 5 up and heavy gave your opponent's strength, upgraded your opponent's strength to 4 up, that doesn't happen with this character. And so if your opponent was attacking this character, the roll needed to damage would still be a natural roll of 5+ rather than 4+. He has Elite Circus. So basically you can only take one of these guys. Well, as I said, you can only take one of these guys, but if you've got if you've got 2 people with Elite Circus in your crew, then that will be illegal unless you've got Mr. Hammer, who has Elite Boss Circus rule. So you can either take him or the other one or the other clown that looks like this, the Ringmaster, in a Joker's gang list. He has Psycho, so his willpower is never altered. So things like Scarecrow's Fear Toxin have no effect on him, or Ivy's things have no effect on him. He has Elusive, and Elusive is 1 movement counter that's passive. And basically, if your opponent has a ranged weapon and he's firing his ranged weapon at this guy, if you have a movement counter, you can spend it and gain +1 defense against your opponent's ranged attacks. So basically, against things like assault rifles and beam weapons and refrigeration weapons and everyone knows what else, then he becomes defense 4, which is major. That's a big stat to get through, especially when in a game like Batman, which I'll talk about in a minute. And he is hardened, so each round, the first injury marker the first blood damage he suffers turns into a stun damage as for each round. So again, that's very adaptable, that's very survivable. So if you've got a weapon with 1 blood, 1 stun damage, and you get 1 attack through, and it's the first bit of damage that this guy suffered this round, it's 2 stun instead of a blood and a stun damage. So again, major. He's 36 reputation, so he's a little bit costly, and his funding's absolutely nothing. So what is his role in the gang? Well, he is a melee character. He really hits hard, and I can't really blame it. I always put this guy in my lists because he's too good. He really is. Did I go through the axe? No, I didn't, sorry. So I'll go through the axe, and this is why he's such a melee beatstick. His axe does 2 blood damage. It's a melee weapon, so no rate of fire ammo, and his special is handy and heavy. So he gets rerolls hits, and he damages on a 3-up rather than a 4-up. That's so big. I'm sorry, but that is a very big amount. 2 blood damage on a 3-up, and you got 4 attacks. So you got 4 potential chances to inflict 8 blood damage. That can one-shot majority of leaders. So that's really big. This guy is a melee beatstick. So we'll go through his strengths. Endurance 6. He's losing 2 points of willpower, so he'll become willpower 3. So you'll have to watch the damage counters on this guy. Sphere Toxin won't do anything against this guy because he's a psycho, and he'll just sniff it up and just think, oh look, it's a new type of bacon smell, something like that. So yeah, he doesn't care about that, so his willpower can't be altered in that perception. The only thing you got to watch out is damage, and even then, he ignores heavy weapons, which there are plentiful amount of in the game, and he also, again, turns 1 blood damage into a stun damage, which you can get rid of with special counters at start of each round. So again, he's very, very durable for what he is. So, what's his weaknesses then for what he does? Well, despite him being a good melee beatstick, he's still only a henchman, so he's not as powerful as, say, combat-free agents. This guy will have a hard time against people like Black Manta, Deathstroke. Ranged attacks will hurt him if you don't make excessive use of elusive against ranged gangs or ranged lists. Then he's going to be taking damage, and he doesn't want to be taking damage. Again, he doesn't want to be willpower 3. He wants to be willpower 5 or 4 at the most, if you can afford damage. So again, make sure you use that elusive. He does not like damage. This guy is also not a martial artist, and so he can be overwhelmed quite easily. If he gets outnumbered, chances are he's not going to take a good hit. Again, he can do some serious damage, as I've said, but ultimately, as a henchman, against higher things like Grundy or Black Manta, he will get his face beaten. If he's outnumbered by a lot of miniatures of your opponent's gang, then he's going to suffer and get swamped down and bogged down and ultimately killed. So yeah, he does have his weaknesses, but his main strength is that he's melee beatstick. Synergize it with the rest of the gang. If you have distraction on some henchmen, then make sure you use that distraction alongside him so that your opponent, so that you can distract and then go beatstick. If you can turn things into defense 2, if you're attacking a model with defense 2 with his weapon, you're rolling on 2 up to hit with rerolls because of handy, and then you're damaging on 3 up. That's such an easy target to kill. Attack 4 as well makes him hard to block against. It's not impossible to block against it, but again, the thing with Batman is the reason why it becomes so balanced to a point is the lack of dice. You're not chucking volumes of dice. You're rolling 3 or 4 dice, and every roll counts because every roll does a lot of damage, and that's what you want to be doing. Pulling off. So 4 up doesn't sound like much, especially if you're used to more mass combat tabletop games, but in this game, specifically this game, it does make all the difference. So defense 4, you do have to put yourself in the mindset that defense 4 is quite hard. It's not impossible. I'm not saying that it is impossible, but it is still quite hard, especially for this game. So that's, yeah. So again, attack 4, it's going to be hard to block. Hopefully he does Murderface. Again, if you've got certain types of Joker, like the Kill and Joke Joker, and you demotivate and you intimidate and you distract an enemy model using Joker, especially with the Kill Them, especially with Kill and Joke Joker's Kill Them and Inspire special traits, you can bump his counters up like no tomorrow. So if you don't have the willpower to spend for a movement counter to perform elusive, Inspire, bam, he's now got that movement counter. Kill Them can put him up to 5 attack counters. That's 10 blood damage. Again, this is where I'm talking about the game as a whole being more synergetic than about being one-man armies, because again, attack 5, that's a lot of attacks, especially if you're damaging defense 2 miniatures with 3+ damage. Obviously you factor in stuff like armor and all that now, but on the basis, if you're attacking a high value miniatures target, then you have got to be, a high value reputation target, then you've got to be focusing on that miniature. You can't just slap even this guy, you can't just slap him out there and expect him to one-shot enemy free agents, psychics, or leaders. This guy is a henchman killer. If you want him to be anything more, you're going to need to put a lot more effort and a lot more focus with more miniatures to bog that free agent, psychic, or leader down. But aside from that, he is a very, very good miniature. I always put him in my list because, to me, for my playstyle, he's too good. You know, for my playstyle, I like the Kill and Joke Joker. I'll play him alongside him because the amount of synergy combinations you can pull off, to me, is worth it. But again, everyone has a different take on him. I personally love this miniature death, and I can't see a list where I'm not taking him, I'll be honest. So, that's roughly it for this guy. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed what you're seeing, you want to see more Joker's miniatures coming out. I'm not promising too many now because I've done all the ones that I've painted. I need to paint up some more, especially for like the recent Joker's gang that I got with the Suicide Squad box of Jared Leto's Joker and all the cosplayers. So it takes time to paint these things up. But aside from that, roughly we're giving Joker's gang a little bit of a break, just so I can paint up everyone else that I've got, and then it'll be time to make more videos. But if you want to stick around and you want to see more Joker's gang and other gangs, because I've got a lot of other gangs coming your way, from Bane to Scarecrow as well, and I've got to paint them up still. So if you want to stick around, especially with battle reports, hopefully I'll get more as Batman's slowly growing, hopefully, in my area. So if you want to stick around, then please subscribe to the channel and hit that notifications button so that you're constantly updated on when the videos come through. If you liked what I said, then please give this video a like and share it out. If you've got a friend who has a Joker's gang and this miniature and he's a bit stuck or stumped on how to use this miniature, then please, or to get that extra mile out of his miniature, then please share this video out, get the name out there, get these tactic videos out there, help a few players in need. If there's anything you want to talk about in this video, then please comment below in the comment section below. So thank you for watching. This is the Warp Forge signing out, and remember, keep on forging.